All right, but tonight's not about me. I'd like to bring up some members that are finding some good success in single-family investing. Andy and Jennifer, will you come up here?
Hey! No children?
No,
He's in the back.
there's a third of us now, but he's back there with some other kids.
Oh, other kids. Okay, cool.
Hello.
All right. So Andy and Jennifer, it's great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
We've been members since 2012. Back then, Del Walmsley actually was teaching the courses, and it was an amazing, amazing 2-day weekend learning from the master. And we progressed very quickly. But how did we get into this?
Yeah, we joined at the time. We caught it on the radio, right? It says here.
notice I'm
But
sharing.
what people want to know is, okay, real people, real results. So you found before Lifestyles, what do you guys do for a living?
That's a
That's
good
what I
question.
wanna know.
So we moved back to the U.S. in late 2010, got jobs. She worked for an insurance company. I worked for a travel management company, right? Corporate jobs.
I'm going to interrupt already.
And where'd you live
so
before here? You moved back to the U.S.?
Germany. He got
Germany?
a job, we went to Germany, and after 5 years, they would not let me work. So I've got a bachelor's degree, I've got a master's degree. They would let me teach English part-time, pay taxes quarterly in advance, and that's all they would really let me do. And after 5 years, I kind of got tired of that, and I said, I want to do something. And he said, okay. So he actually quit his job, and we moved back to the U.S. without jobs. And so preparing for that, we saved up some money. So we had a little cash of money, and lo and behold, we're both pretty qualified to do things, and we got jobs within a couple of months, pretty high-paying jobs. And so then now we had this money that we had saved up. And at that time, the stock market was going down.
It was already down. It was late 2010.
Already down.
Okay.
And we thought, gosh, this is so stupid. What's happening to our money? We need to do something with it. And we heard on the radio, this program, Lifestyles Unlimited, and come to this free seminar, and we thought, well, might as well. Let's go and see.
I think it's because it's free. We're attracted to it.
It's free.
Yeah.
Free is always good. So we went, just like you are here now. Excuse me. And I think we signed up on the spot.
We signed up at the free workshop, came out to the 2-day, which was with Dell.
Mm-hmm.
And to Dave's point, we're 12 years in now, right? We joined in 2012. I came out to the 2-day last month with
You
Chris White.
went through Chris again, yeah.
There's always something to learn. There's always something to refresh and new perspectives as you grow, right? Your perspective changes, and anytime he talks, I learn something. So, sorry.
Are you Italian?
I wonder.
So I get it.
Continue.
Yeah, I don't know. So we got back, and I got a job in insurance, which turned out I did not like. I should have stayed in Germany. But, things always seem greener on the other side. So there I was working a job that I didn't like. We had this money, and it was just sinking. And we heard the radio show and decided to go ahead and come, and then signed up.
Okay.
And Andy, what were you doing?
I was just working. Yeah, worked for a farm equipment manufacturer, then travel, right? After we were in Germany, to your question a moment ago,
Okay.
for 5 years. But, we didn't start with a ton of cash. To her point, we saved a little bit for our return. My mom passed away in 2005 before we moved to Germany, and, we inherited a little bit of stock, which, as it says, up
You lost
here,
50% one year.
50%.
That's
So
kind of like when I
just
lost
like
my
you
money.
saw.
Yeah.
So it made zero sense now that we're working to put it back into the market. And
Cool.
timely radio.
I'm going to switch sides because he's going to hit me.
I'll hit this guy instead. So
All right. So, quick.
Awesome. Go ahead. Yeah, tell us about this house. We want to show you the full story of this house from start to finish.
absolutely. And Dave said you can't retire on one. And this is not house number 1 nor 2. This is house number 9. And this is the house that retired her.
This is the house when we finally decided we had enough monthly income that I could quit my horrible job that I was miserable in.
Yeah, she was, she was a trooper. She's like, we're going to get our 10 houses under my name because that's what you can do loan-wise,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to keep working. I'm going to struggle through. But it was
Enough is enough.
It was.
Enough is enough, and this was the house that did that. So it's pretty special to
You
me.
all know where Arlington is, right?
Yeah, this
Not
is
like in West Virginia.
Pretty far.
It's
a little
local.
bit. Little bit. This house is a little bit south of Six Flags, right off of 20. It was a pretty quiet market at the time. There was, sub market was not too crazy. You'll get to the numbers here in a minute, but it was off market. Got it from a wholesaler. Happened to be a wholesaler that we bought 4 other properties from, so I trusted his numbers.
And I'll teach what all that means this weekend. Don't worry if it sounds like Greek if you're new. I'll explain that.
Dave will give you all the details.
You know, I'm going to take a step back there again in that when we started doing this, we didn't know anything about houses. We didn't really know how mortgages work. We didn't know what hard money is, which if you don't know, we didn't know either. If you've never heard that term, it was new to us. I didn't know anything about plumbing or electrical or roofs or anything, but I learned everything I needed right here.
Cool.
And I love this picture on the top left here. This is the classic avocado green. So this
Beautiful.
was.
Why didn't you keep that?
We
like
got
it.
some metal guys.
This is
They
our
come around.
childhood.
They take our stuff off our hands. But I believe this was 78 build.
Yeah.
This is the original stove, original everything, laminate. The gentleman passed away, so it was a.
So
an
do you
estate
think
sale.
there's a lot of houses out there like this right now that aren't updated that you could buy? Of course there is. Yep.
Here's some more pictures.
I
Ooh,
love
green
this.
carpet, shag.
The green shag carpet and the sunken living room.
That's awesome.
Which I really liked. And our contractor, I love our contractor, Blake. He's somewhere
Finishing
here.
touches, yep.
Finishing touches. Gave us some suggestions. You know, we can raise it and just make it smooth. We can fill it in somehow. He gave us a whole bunch of options, and I said no. I like the sunken. Just keep it. Put the flooring in. Make it into sort of a little bowl so it's a nice family area. And put the railing. He took the railing off, painted it, and finished it, sanded it, put it back up.
That's great if you have babies because if you throw the Cheerios down, they can't get out of the area.
But
Little
if you,
pen.
this is house number 9. If you go out to any of the houses that we bought before that we used the same contractor on, they all look pretty much the same, which means
Cookie
all
cutter.
of my it's cookie cutter. Typically we go and we rehab everything, so we don't have any maintenance. Anything that does come up, it's always the same stuff that I'm used to dealing with, so it's pretty easy. Now every house is a little bit unique. This thing had 11-inch drop to what she's talking about, so you run into some fun stuff that you get to problem solve on. It's kind of cool.
So hear what they're saying. They had no experience. They joined Lifestyles. So what is my job? I will ruin your career, and you all end up in rehab like they were, right? Make sense?
Sounds great.
Except that we didn't do any of the work.
And that's powerful. You hear what she just said?
I didn't do any
Most
work.
of you don't understand. If you lift up a hammer, you lose money. We're not here like flip this house, stupid shows. They're fake. If you watch them at night, block the channels, put the child locks on. Because you pay a contractor, you write a check, who can do that? So you see, you don't need experience in this. You mimic success. You just write a check for people.
And something important when you're doing these renovations, this is a rental. This is not my home, right? So I didn't sit there picking out tile and paint colors and matching, little flecks here and there. I just want it to look nice and be clean and functional and a nice home for someone else. Because if I spend an hour picking out a faucet, they might hate it. So what difference does it really make? Don't waste your time. What I would do is say, Blake, make it pretty. And I'd walk away.
Yep, that's great.
That is the most genius thing I heard out of a member. Give her a hand because that's exactly what I teach. That's beautiful.
I think
You married up, by the way.
I did.
I think
glad you
the
recognized that.
only time I ever gave Blake really some direction is I said, don't paint it brown. I hate brown.
There you go.
Yeah. No, that's good. You didn't over rehab it. You can definitely put too much money, waste money on things that are not important, not going to add to your.
And to that point, that's Formica. That's not granted. It's Formica for that market at that time. That's what
That's
made
all
sense.
needed, yep.
That's what we put in. Yeah.
Yep.
Clean and functional workforce housing. Keep that in your mind.
All right, let's talk a little about the numbers.
And this is when you first bought it, correct?
Did you have something else, Jennifer, you wanted to share? You want me to go
I was
back?
just reminding myself what was on the slide. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm the numbers guy. This is when I get to talk, right? And y'all are going to slow me down if I get into too much detail. But yeah, it shows you right here. Purchase price $72K. Again, we got this from a wholesaler, off market. At the time, we did this was 2015, so we bought it in April of 2015. So it's been a while. Rehab renovations at the time, $36K. You're probably not going to get it done for that price these days. Maybe you have a good contractor. And then other costs, that's going to be, we bought with hard money, so we had a closing. We did a refinance on the back end when it was fixed up. Another closing plus some holding costs in there.
So the big number I want to go with you guys is What did I say you need to buy a house? About how much money? 30 grand. So you see the cash out of pocket up there? 25 grand. Are they in that range? Okay.
Yeah, you can still do that today.
Yeah, and my goal is to make between $200 to $600 a month in cash flow. Where are they at? 445. So if you take that 25 grand, right, and you divide it by that $5,000 a year, tax-free, that's a 21% return. Who'd be okay with that? That's like getting a CD that pays 21% return and it's tax-free. Who'd be agree? That's pretty good? Okay, I just want to make sure you understand that.
But there's some really cool stuff going on in the market right now. I want to point to the yellow box there that says equity capture, 7K, right? That's about a, what does it say here, 28% return.
Right.
That's a pretty small number. Nowadays,
And
what are we
but
seeing?
remember when I was doing my speech, I didn't say 28. What did I say she should make? 100%. Who agrees? 100%.
Yeah.
So back then he was making 28%. Do you think in today's market you make 100%? Because you guys are doing that.
Absolutely. There's a little bit of trade-off. Cash flow might be a little lower right now. But,
Right. Yep.
we were looking for cash flow to get her out of her job, so we didn't need 100% return on equity at the time. That was our goal, get her retired.
All right.
Okay.
So that was your focus. Yeah, that 7,000. I mean, it's not bad. This is not a bad deal. This is a pretty good deal for
Now-
that market.
Now don't go to the next slide. I want to teach them something right now. Sorry.
Go. You're good.
How many ways do we make money in real estate? What did I tell you? They're showing 2 right here. Actually 3. The 3 that they're showing is the equity capture, the cash flow, and the tax advantages. Just so you know, I'll teach this weekend why all that cash flow is tax-free. There's 2 other ways we make money as we hold it longer, which is what they're going to show next. You have appreciation here in Dallas. It's about, let's say, 10% a year. It's not 10% on that 25 grand. It's 10% on the house value. So if the house is worth 125, then next year it's worth 12 grand more. Now, if you have a $25,000 investment and it goes up $12,000, you just made another 50% return. Are you following me? Then you have principal pay down. Every time that renter pays the rent, he's paying down the mortgage, we're building up equity. So you see how powerful that is? So now, I want you to show the next slide and
Let's-
explain what happens
Yeah, let's
over
see the
time.
evolution of this
Oh,
deal.
I want to comment on these
Okay.
pictures. Because of the houses we've bought, you see these pictures. We travel a lot with in our travel trailer, and we homeschool our son. He's back there playing with his friends. But because of our houses, we can do that. We can get up and travel, and we'll be gone for 4 weeks at a time.
I just want to show you how powerful this is. Smart teacher homeschools her own kids. Does that make sense? Just saying.
Yeah, there's something there, maybe. All right, let's see the rest of the story. They just sold
That's
this
like
recently.
Paul Harvey.
The rest of the story.
The rest of the story, yeah. So, yeah, we bought this April 2015, had it rehabbed. I think we had it rented July, let's say, of 2015 rather. We just sold this in November of the prior year, 2023. You know, we bought it for 72, 36 in rehab. What was that? 120 something all in, 108 all in. We just sold it for 300. We had a huge gain to Dave's point. In equity, thanks to the appreciation, number one, which we don't buy for that. We bought
Right.
this for the cash
for the cash flow.
That was it.
That was your goal back then, yeah.
It was a single. It was a
Man, it
base hit for
sucks
us.
that you
Right.
went up so much.
But over time, we did enjoy a very, very sharp rise in growth on the price side. In the meantime, the other way that we make money, we had a family in there for pretty much that entire time. What are they doing? They're paying down the mortgage. So my mortgage was started, I think, mid-95 or so. It got down to about what the purchase price is. It was in the 70s. So they
Right.
paid off $20K of my mortgage in that.
That was nice of them.
eight years or so, yeah. So
And your cash flow went up to 730.
cash flow went up to 730. Interestingly, this rent is what we could have gotten if we kept it and re-rented it.
Oh, okay.
So we were actually,
Rent today.
yeah,
Selling it.
we had it rented for 1,700,
Now,
clearing
I
730.
just want to show you something. These are very fiscally conservative people. They understand numbers, right? Okay, I'm not talking socially or political. I'm saying fiscally they're conservative. This is my problem. When I bring up people like you in this room that are accountants, engineers, nerds, oncologists, right? All nerds. When they make a 500% return, that's the most excited they get. And you're all like, yay.
584%.
Who? Give him a hand. My God. Who agrees that's a pretty darn good return? And I like that they showed the full cycle because we usually don't do this. We go and we show you just that one number, the 30%. And you're like, eh. But when you see 500, like, right? Gee, I wish my doggy coin did that. right?
Dave.
It's really funny because he'll get the numbers ready and stuff, and I'll kind of review them and check them. But he showed me this the other day, and I looked at it and I said, "Oh yeah, cool," and walked away.
There you go. I can't make my wife happy either. Same
that
thing.
works. 500,
Honey, we made 500% return. Yeah. Can I
right.
go roller skating now? Yeah.
I got to take it one level better, though. That's our return on equity. I'm going to do what the apartment guys sometimes do. I'm going to add in the cash flow.
Oh, all together.
Mortgage pay down. Total return was 800%.
Does that make sense? Because there's 5 ways.
5 ways, yep.
And you know the tax benefits made even higher, but let's not show off.
That's too hard to get into for me. So on
this
25K.
Yeah.
So when we sold, we cashed out 200. I mean, that's a pretty good.
That is pretty
Over 8
awesome.
years, yeah.
Congratulations.
Awesome. So you're looking for more.
So obviously you bought more than one house, so you're probably worth, what, you make 100 grand, maybe 200 grand now? Yeah. Who wants to see what they did with their whole portfolio? Come on, encourage them.
Wait, before we go to
it's
that
impressive.
But wait, there's more.
slide. So interesting thing, the first tenants and we only had 2 sets of tenants in this house, but the first set was a pair of sisters, and one of them already owned a home that her parents lived in, and they were trashing it.
Ooh.
And she didn't want to get them out, but she wanted to sell it and get them out, get it over with. So she sold it to us, so we would be the bad guy.
Oh, with them stuck in there so you can get rid of them.
Yeah.
We were fine with that.
We were great with that because this was a single.
And you kept them there the whole time, right?
Yeah. Well, I walked that house. It had the doggy stuff on the floor. I mean, it was.
They were gone, you're saying.
They were out.
Yeah. Mhm.
Smelled
That-
like
but
money.
That one was a home run.
Yeah, that's the smell of money, guys. Write that down. Dog poop, cat pee.
That's what you're looking for.
Yep.
But remember, we've been doing this for a while, 12 years now, and I have a bad habit. We held this one for 8 years. I tend to hold these a little long.
That's
We're
okay.
going to see
Still
that.
did okay.
Well, but it was our cash flow. It got us out of our jobs because he doesn't work a corporate job anymore either. He strictly does our real estate management. I do work a job, but it's part-time for a hard money lender, and
Okay.
I love the job, and I love my boss, and I have the flexibility. I can travel for 4 weeks at a time and do my job from there, wherever there is, and so I like it. I have no reason to quit.
So you are a numbers girl too, see? Not just him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know her money. Good.
All right. Let's see what their portfolio looks like. All right. So you have 17 single-family homes.
17 after the sale of that one, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play Monopoly right, by the way.
I did not.
What happens after 4 houses? Just saying. That's okay, though.
All right. We'll move through these a little bit, but these are, look at the equity capture and the cash flows. Really, really nice.
Yeah, you're pretty powerful when you need 2 slides. Who agrees, right?
3 slides.
Oh, 3
Yeah,
slides.
we went through 2 of those.
Oh, okay.
So a couple comments, if I might, on the cash flow on the earlier houses very high because we have a fixed rate mortgage, 30 years, right? And what's happening, that stays flat, but my rents keep going up. Yeah, property taxes, I protest those, but they go up a bit. Insurance as well, but we get a bigger and bigger spread. Equity obviously has continued to grow, but I got to get back to my problem, which is I keep holding on to these. If you think you're going to hold longer term, be careful. How long do you tell us to hold on to these, Dave? 3 years.
What do I tell everybody every seminar? Because here's the reason why I teach that. And it's funny because I pick on Andy, even though he's very successful. Him and his wife did wonders. But I know they could do 10 times this if they would just let go. But here's what happens. The hardest rule that Dell taught me that I'm teaching him right now is you can't get rich slow. Letting go of what you have for what you can become. You're like, but the guy's worth $3 million, but he should be worth 10. You see what I'm saying? And here's why. 126 grand a year is awesome, but he should be making $2 million a year. So if you let go of 100 grand a year to make 200 grand a year, to make 400 grand a year, to make 800, you have to double, double, double. Who likes that idea? And you do that every 2 to 3 years. You like that now, Jennifer? And it's every time he comes to seminar, you would think I would baby him because he's my friend and all that, but what do? I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Am I right? Have I had it? Was I harsh to anybody in this room before? Yeah. That guy, see? That's my job. I'm a jerk. Who likes me being a jerk? You need that from a teacher.
You better give out some hugs.
I do give hugs.
We need that.
But, okay, if I offend anybody, because I say stupid political stuff all the time, I will give anybody in the room a hug. Just raise your hand if your feelings are hurt. But if you're a dude, keep your hips back. That's weird. Okay? I teach in California. Don't ask. Yeah.
In all fairness,
Sorry, go ahead.
we are in some multifamily now. We've got
Oh, you are? Okay,
yeah,
good.
we moved quite a bit out. We have done some cash out refis over the years. So these things are little ATMs, not just on the cash side, but cash out refi wise, and we've got a couple more in the works to get that equity down.
Yeah.
Impressive. Yeah. You've got some good goals going forward.
And guys, just so you know, you could be a hippie living in a van with kids, with listening to Janis Joplin, traveling the world, and still become a millionaire. Pretty cool. Well, that's because you have no hair.
All right. So how has your life changed? You told us a little bit, but how has it changed since Lifestyles?
Well, the first biggest change was when I quit my job, and we'd been trying to have a kid for a while, and I just couldn't. And boom,
Stress.
within a few months of quitting that job.
Then you have.
That's
There
awesome.
you go.
Back there in the back.
So everybody who's trying to have a kid, just quit your job tomorrow. It's okay.
Buy some houses, you'll have a kid. That's I'll connect the dots there. And I'm a lot more relaxed about. I'm still cautious, right?
Yeah,
but,
of course you are.
He is definitely very frugal. My dad would call him a tightwad. And he's loosened up a bit. He's
That's
like,
good, though.
okay, it's okay. We can go on vacation. We can go here. We can do that.
Well, to her point, that picture over there, we did a 3-week trip to Germany just this past November, December.
Do you guys remember German?
Absolutely,
Ah, yeah,
absolutely.
good
Yeah,
Both
yeah.
of you?
Yeah.
You know I'm going to ask you a
I
question.
know you're gonna ask me a question, man.
Because I like to make case study fun. Who agrees? So I'm going to make him say it in 2 languages. I don't know if he knows both.
I do.
You do?
I think so.
Okay.
It depends
Because
on-
I'm a nerd and I remember everything about every one of you people. I know it's weird, Aggie, right? So, petroleum engineer. I know that he studied both Russian and German in college. So I want you to say it's not the money, it's the lifestyle in both languages.
Right now,
Who would want to hear him?
I'm gonna start in German. German's easier. And these things don't translate exactly.
It's close
an
enough.
idiom.
It's okay.
Yep.
Well, no.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, maybe. Wir machen
The
es
Germans will.
Nicht, wir machen es nicht fürs Geld, sondern für das Leben.
See, it sounds like he's taking over the world.
That's German. You want the Russian?
Yes.
Okay. Russian's a lot harder, guys.
Did she learn Russian too or no?
You know, she
Yeah,
lived
10
with
words?
with me in Moscow, but
I
it's
know. They lived in Moscow too.
it's a
so they
whole
know
other.
Putin.
So это же не чтобы какие-то деньги собирать, но чтобы действительно жить.
Do you know I have a lot of Russian people when I teach in California?
Ask 'em.
They're going to tell you. Barack's going to call up
Yeah.
later. Okay.
So yeah, that's my stab.
Awesome.
Thank you. Give me a hand. I know I do case study different than other people, but it's fun. You agree, Terry? Gotta have fun.
All right. So it sounds like we've been talking a little bit, but you have some goals going forward, some short term, a couple long term.
Yes, that equity, we're working on getting it out. We're working with a couple tenants. How they want to buy my houses.
Oh, by the way, words matter, sir. We are politically correct.
Residents, yes.
They're called residents, not tenants.
My bad. Yes, we have a couple of residents that have asked, hey, can we buy the house? Yeah, sure. So we're working with them. We're going to refi. We've got 4 or 5 in the works there.
Awesome. So you're going to sell direct to them, save that real estate commission.
Absolutely.
Because they're FHA buyers, they only have to put 3.5% down. They can give them back their deposit. Wow, I wonder where they learned this stuff.
Which again, at the 2-day, Chris White, he went into detail on
Yep.
the details of that. So good info. Go ahead.
Oh, and you don't even have to fix it up again. They're just already live there.
No, but
Save you some money.
once we get that capital out, right, we want to get into more houses. I like the houses. She likes the houses. They quick turns, good cash
Absolutely.
flow, right?
Instant cash flow.
But we want to continue with the multifamily. Where we're at a conflict now is IRO versus a lot of houses. So we're trying to figure that out. That's a discussion point.
Good.
Talk to your mentors.
There you
And
go.
he can't hear us, but my little guy's back there. He knows everything about Six Flags. He can tell how tall do I need to be to ride the Shockwave.
That's important.
How tall do I need to be to ride the Joker? And we keep talking about the Titan, and he's going to ride that with me. I'm going to get him on
you
there.
go.
That's my goal.
He's too scared to write it.
That's the scariest one.
Awesome.
All right. Well, great. So there's a lot of new members here tonight, or people that aren't members, and what would you say to them now that you're had some success in lifestyles?
You know, we struggled very early on with taking action. We joined the group. That was we saw the value there, and we saw the roadmap. But even once we joined, we had trouble pulling the trigger on that first house, right?
On that first one, but then
Analysis
with-
paralysis kind of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Absolutely
then
did.
within a month we bought 2, dunk, dunk, and then next year 5, and then boom, 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 boom.
If
boom,
you can
boom.
just get
Once
moving,
do
you
that
will-
first one, it just
Yeah,
It
you'll
makes
overcome that inertia. You'll get momentum. And I mean, this is over a number of years, but you'll look back and realize, holy cow, look how far I've come. But you got to get started for that to happen.
But I want you to think about it. Take what you started with, right? Till worth a few $1,000,000 now. Do you think if you would have kept in a 401k IRA, that thing would be, where do you think you'd be?
You know, I am a nerd. I went back and looked at what we had in that brokerage account back in when we joined, and if I just track it against the stock market, it would have gone from, I think it was like 70 up to 350.
Yeah.
I mean, compare that to what
Who
we
agrees
did.
it's just a little bit better, right? And she doesn't have to work anymore, which is good because you're not teaching children German anymore, so that's good.
That's awesome. So
What did you teach when you were in Germany? What's classes?
I taught business English.
Business
That's
English. Oh,
all
okay.
they would let me do.
There you go. Cool.
awesome.
Okay.
All right. So you didn't have to do all this on your own. You had a team to work with. You had some mentors.
Yeah, so when we started, I said earlier that Del Walmsley taught the 2-day. Lynn Murrow was our mentor, which she is now vice president.
Vice president of the whole
Yeah.
company. She was a single family mentor back then. Yeah.
Fabulous. Rick Johnson was a great mentor. Sam Tenpenny.
I saw
back-
Sam.
he's in
He's
the
back.
back.
Sam.
Raise your hand,
He's
Sam.
way back there. Sam, wave high.
Yeah, this particular
Got
house,
hundreds of houses members.
we got off market. We didn't use the realty team, but they sold us a lot of houses, so they're
and Lee, Kathy
good
Bell.
people to work with.
They did a lot.
And don't
for
worry,
us.
I hear somebody coughing out there. It's not COVID, it's tuberculosis. You're okay?
And team-wise, she mentioned already finishing touches. They did the renovations for us up front when we had the family move out just recently. I brought in our handyman. We used Olbert's handyman. He's on the vendor list
yeah.
to get it spruced up. Insurance is Lee Siegel. He's back there in the back. And
Yep.
Lifestyles Finance, which that hard money lender she worked with is now part of Lifestyles
Oh, that's
Finance,
cool.
as it were.
Okay, cool. So let's take some questions from the audience.
Yes.
Or, no, there's nobody online. Okay,
No, I got a question over here.
go ahead.
17 houses, do you self-manage those or use management company? What do you do?
We self-manage.
How do you do, how much time does that
Oh, we
take?
are online. Never mind.
Okay, I knew somebody was gonna ask me that question. So I from the last case study to today, I tracked what am I doing because I'm mostly doing it.
Nerd spreadsheets, get it. Go ahead.
It's about an hour and a half a week, and
Okay.
an hour of that went to paying property taxes this past month. And
So wait, an hour and a half a week, and you make like 100,000 a year? What is it? 120?
28, something like that.
28.
Okay, who'd like to make 128 grand a year tax-free for a couple hours a week? Who agrees that's better than what you're probably doing now? You understand that? And if they were just in multifamily, it would be even less time.
be zero.
Yeah, but my point is, it's still very lucrative compared to what you're doing. Okay. Any other questions in the room? There you go, right there. New guy. He lost his hair. He was in the stock market. Go ahead. The question was, what's an IRO? I'm going to repeat everything so they can hear you.
It's a solo owner, independent owner of an
It
apartment.
stands for independent rental owner, so we call them IROs. You hear a lot of acronyms, but in the weekend I break them all down so everybody can understand it. Because I have Aggies, and I give them crayons so they can draw while they're watching too.
We got one more question over here. Go ahead.
The question is, do you still work, sir?
No, I could have retired sooner than I did, but I kept working till the day before my birthday, 2022. I said, all right, I'm giving myself a happy birthday present. I'm out.
He does work a lot though because we homeschool. I plan all the homeschooling and he actually does it.
Yeah, I'm the teacher
Wow.
now.
I'm the
Those
principal.
are cool kids.
He's the administrator.
They can learn all about skater punk or something,
She's the boss lady. Yeah, well, we spend a lot of time at the Dallas Zoo.
right? That is good.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay, so you're into two multifamilies right now, correct?
We're in more than that, but yeah, we're in a number of passive.
Just what I saw.
Can you
Oh, that's our goal
repeat the
is to get to
question?
2 more
No.
this year. Yeah.
So the question, I want to repeat for the people online. Remember, there's people from California watching. They're a little slower. So the question is, how many multifamilies were you in? I'm just paraphrasing.
We're in 10 passive now.
Okay, so, but those are all passive. You don't like own a multifamily.
Right. So the question, they're just passive. You don't own your own property by yourself.
We do not.
And that's what they were saying. They're deciding now, do we want to buy our own apartment or do we want to buy more houses? And both win. It doesn't matter. Either way, they're doing fine. They should buy an apartment, though. But I mean, just saying.
You got time for one more?
Sure, one more. Let's have
Ben?
How did you finance the houses? I mean, I imagine it changed throughout.
Great question. So how did you finance 10 houses? That sounds insane. How can you
That's a
do
lot
that?
of money.
Because you barely qualify for the one you live in is what most people think.
Well, funny. So he's really the numbers guy, but I work for a hard money lender, so I'll talk about it. So we use hard money. Hard money is basically a short-term, high-interest construction type loan. It's private lending, and they loan not on the sales price of this house, but on the after repair value. So here's this house that looks like a piece of junk, but you're going to fix it. You're going to do all these things to it. So in 3 months, it's going to look like a brand new house. What's that value? That's what they'll lend you on.
So let me explain it too in simple English, because I really think this is what Ben's going to ask. He says, look, if I own a house and I live in it, and my mortgage payment's $700, that goes against what's called my debt-to-income ratio. I barely qualified for the house I live in. How on earth can I buy this rental? Let me show you really quick, 30 seconds. Who wants to learn 30 seconds? Watch this. You have rented $1,000, and then you have something called, I write, in gibberish, PITI. That's your principal, interest, tax, insurance. That's your payment. It's $700. So you're making $300. Typical Lifestyles deal. We make about $200 to $600 in cash flow. That's the numbers you're seeing, right? The bank is very conservative. They don't count this full rent amount. They'll typically count about 75%. So let's say it's $750, $700. That shows $50 of positive cash flow. Does that affect your debt to income ratio at all? So you buy it, you fix it up, you put a renter in there, no problem. In fact, your debt to income ratio went up because it's even higher. Then you buy another one, another one, another one. There's a little bit more to it, but I'm just giving a very basic. Who likes that? See, that's how Lifestyles teaches. We simplify it. Okay? Does that help you? You could buy 10 houses, Ben. You know what's even better when you're married like this? Here in the state of Texas, she could put 10 in her name. He could put 10 in his name. And then you could buy 20 houses. Then I kill you because you're only supposed to buy 4 and buy an apartment. But that's besides the point. Everybody with me?
And that's how we did it. We alternated. At this point, I can't buy any of my names.
So they have an alternating lifestyle. You heard it here live. That was a joke. Don't read into it. No, I love these guys. They're awesome. Let's give them a hand. You guys did
good
great.
job, guys.
Man.
Thanks for presenting.